Want to know how to sell your homemade cosmetics? This video has got you covered. Hi, I'm Lorraine Dahlmeyer, and I'm the CEO of Formula Botanica, the online organic cosmetic formulation school. And we have taught thousands and thousands of formulators and indie beauty entrepreneurs all over the world how to get started. In fact, if you've ever bought from an indie beauty brand, there's a very good chance you've bought from one of our graduates. But let's talk about you for a minute. If you're watching this video, then you're either already formulating or you're planning to in the future. And you might now be thinking about how you can turn your skills into a business and get started by selling them. You might even have given away some of your homemade skincare to family and friends who loved it. And that got you thinking, could this be the ticket out of your day job into the world of being an entrepreneur? And if you're wondering whether it's possible, let me tell you, I have seen thousands of our graduates do exactly this. You have it in your reach to sell your own homemade cosmetics. In fact, it's a fabulous way to easily and affordably start your own business. I'm going to very quickly run you through the 7 main points you need to consider before you can sell your homemade cosmetics. We've got a detailed blog post which is linked in the comments under this video and will give you even more information. Our blog is filled with hundreds of articles to get you started as an entrepreneur and formulator, so make sure you dive in after watching. Step 1: Good manufacturing practice, or GMP. The first and most critical stage in selling your homemade cosmetics is compliance with the law. In nearly every country, cosmetics must be formulated with strict adherence to health and safety regulations, and they must pass certain tests in order to be placed on the market for sale. You first need to find out if your country allows you to sell cosmetics that you make at home. Most countries around the world do, but there are some exceptions, and it changes all the time. So do your research. Next up, ensure that your cosmetics have undergone the right testing. They must go through safety checks. They must be challenge tested if they contain water. They must be stability tested. This is an absolute foundation to your business, and you have to do it too. Finally, good manufacturing practice is just another way of saying that you've considered all of the steps that you need to take when you set up a home formulation lab and when you make your own skincare to sell. It's basically a checklist of safety, hygiene, and manufacturing processes. For example, if a customer has a problem with one of your products, you'll need to be able to trace the batch and the ingredients it contains. Attention to detail is everything when it comes to GMP and safe, responsible manufacturing of cosmetics. Step 2: Market research. Who are your customers? Now, I know the term market research might sound a little daunting or even, dare I say it, boring, but it's so important when you make your own formulations to sell. Just because you, your friends, and your family love your products doesn't mean that everyone else does. Also, consider that you might just find that they're being polite about what you've made. You need to figure out who your customers are. I have watched so many people over the years make skincare for their own skin and then sell it. And there isn't anything wrong with that if you exactly are your target customer, but you need to know who that person is. So, to uncover your customers, you need to dig deep. And most importantly, you need to start talking to people, handing out samples, and putting together a small focus group to get brutally honest feedback on everything: your formulations, your brand, your business name, your packaging, your price points. Now, I know this part is terrifying. No one likes being judged, and it's easy to feel that you personally are being judged by putting your formulations on the line like this. But it is critically important to get this feedback before you launch. The alternative is that you launch and no one buys. And that, believe me, is much, much worse. Step 3 is get your paperwork sorted. Now, unless you're a complete geek like me, you won't enjoy this step, and that's perfectly understandable. But you have to get your admin and your legals sorted before you start. The compliance issue I mentioned before is just one part of your admin, legal work, and costs. Apart from company setup and administration, you may need to protect your brand name with a trademark, or, for instance, draft a contract to ensure things are totally clear between you and maybe a friend who's going to be your partner in the business. You'll also need to take out insurance to cover you and your business, as well as any business relationships that you develop with manufacturers or retailers in the future. Step four is money. Now, you can't start a business, even one that's tiny, without thinking about how you're going to fund it. Even if you only make 10 lip balms to sell, you still need to find the cash to buy the ingredients and the packaging. And you need to build in margins to make sure that you pay yourself. And that if one day a store stocks your products, you have margins in there for them too. You also need to consider how many products you want to launch with, how you'll design your brand, and how you will fund your website. I'm often asked, Lorraine, how much does it cost to launch a skincare business? And the answer is it really depends on you. Some people launch on a shoestring budget and do so very successfully, and others go on and raise lots of capital. There is no set figure and no set result. Just make sure you think about how you're going to fund your business before you start. Step five is branding. Now, I'm going to say this and probably repeat myself on many other videos that you might watch here on the Formula Botanica YouTube channel, but you can't put enough effort into creating your brand. And please, unless you are a professional designer, see if you can make some money available for someone to come and help you. It will pay off so much in the long run if you have everything designed. The actual design, logo, brand mark, color palette, patterns, visuals, and much more must appeal to your ideal customer and must resonate with your overall vision and mission for what you're trying to achieve with your business. All brand elements must be in sync and pull in the same direction. Your brand must immediately stand for your values and identify your products and do justice to your unique offer. Remember that when someone picks up your formulations, they will firstly be buying it because of the brand, as they won't have tried it before. You have to get this right. Step six is sales channels. Now we're finally talking about the selling component. So now you have your skincare or hair care or makeup or deodorant or whatever ready to go. Where are you going to sell it? You've got five main options. One, your website. But don't expect lots of traffic to start with, as no one will know your website exists unless you're reminding them that it's there continuously. Just make sure you build a website that represents your brand properly. Two, social media. But remember, you don't control these platforms, so it's always best to sell on a platform that you do control, like your own website. Three, retailers. Now, once you get started, we recommend working or starting with smaller retailers so that you can find your feet in how you work together. Don't pitch yourself to Space NK, Sephora, or Walmart on day one. Get some experience first. Four, e-tailers such as Etsy or Amazon, for instance. Now, these platforms can be great for your business, but we do encourage you to do your research on them beforehand. Some of them also don't permit certain types of products to be sold on their platforms. Five, finally, markets and fairs. And these can be great for connecting in person with people and discovering new customers. They can be tiring, but they can form an overall part of your selling strategy. And remember, you want to hustle to sell your formulations. You've created something amazing here, absolutely fantastic. And you now want to put that into the world and change people's lives with the products you've made. So throw yourself into it. And most importantly, have fun. Let's now move on to the final step, which is step 7, promotion and PR. Now, firstly, get yourself onto social media and promote yourself. I hear so many beauty entrepreneurs ask if they can run a business without social media, and the answer is no. In this day and age, you need to be out there, and you personally, as the founder, need to be visible. Now, I say this with the greatest of love and respect, but if this is your concern, you need to give yourself a really good talking to and get over yourself. When first starting out, we often recommend thinking local as well and coming up with really innovative ways of spreading the word about your brand and your products without spending lots of money. Also, don't immediately send your whole range to the big beauty bloggers. Start small with micro influencers and then work your way up once you're ready. We've also seen many of our students and graduates win local small business awards. So start researching those and make a note to enter them when you're ready. So I hope this 7-step guide has given you some pointers on how to get started. We want to help you go from kitchen table hobby to selling your skincare or hair care or whatever formulations you're making for profit. And believe me, it is all perfectly achievable. All of these graduate brands behind me started exactly where you are now. They had no experience either, but they had a dream of creating the most exquisite botanical organic formulations and putting them out into the world. And many of them are now seeing phenomenal success. So, if you want to read a really comprehensive blog post with even more information about these 7 steps and more links and more research, there's one that goes with this video and it's linked below. We also have a free online organic formulation course on our website that all of our graduates started with. So head over there now to sign up today. It's free. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. My name is Lorraine Dahlmeyer. I run Formula Botanica, and I'll see you again soon.